What's going on, Beta Crowd? It's YellowSwellow here today, and today I have an OU match for you guys. And if you were to count the number of uploads I've had on this channel, you would have to use two hands because I believe this is upload number 6. So that means two hands you have to use to count. And today's match is against this guy named the Killeraxx or something along those lines. And we're going OU. As you can tell, I'm running sand, but honestly, sand is not going to come in as a factor at all during this match. Pretty much, besides besides the buffering of the sand hitting our Pokemon, it's not going to be a factor at all. His whole team is kind of walled by Skarmory besides Rotom, Heatran, and Latias. If I can clear those Pokemon out, the last three should be somewhat walled by Skarmory, which I can go from there. But the biggest threat he probably has is Scrafty, so I'm going to have to be careful around that Pokemon. So he knows that I'm going to lead off with Tyranitar because he has no weather. So Chicken the Tyranitar is kind of going to be scared of the Scrafty. He knows that Scrafty is a big threat. If I let this thing set up, I could be in a lot of trouble. And I don't want a Scrafty setting up on me, so I'm going to send in Skarmory because I can roll him out and go from there. But he decides to Drain Punch on the first turn, because I guess he didn't want to set up right away, and he just wants to hit my Tyranitar, which is fine because I'm going to decide to play a little bit of aggressive because I notice he has a Volt turn going on in his team. And before he activates his Rotom in, because if he sends in his Rotom when I set up spikes or something with Skarmory, he can totally activate. He can go from there and go Volt turn. So because I double switched, I will be able to get Rocks up when he Volt switches out into Scizor, which is really nice because since I have Rocks up, he can't Volt turn. He can't just abuse it because Rocks will be hitting Scizor and Rotom, and with combination with Sand, that'll eventually knock him down where it's kind of low, where I can kind of take him out and kind of don't have to worry about it as much. You know what I mean? So anyways, he goes back into Rotom, so he's going to continue and rinse and repeat this Volt Turn cycle, which is fine with me because I can kind of play around it. I have a bunch of Pokemon that can take can deal with Volt Turn. So this time I decided to go into Chives because I was honestly expecting a Hydro Pump. Either he was going to predict me to go to Landorus, predicting the Volt Switch, or Hydro Pump just hits Tyranitar really hard, so I decided to go into Chives the Celebi, and besides, even if I didn't predict that correctly, Volt Switch wouldn't have done that much to Celebi anyway, so there we go. So anyways, I was kind of expecting Scizor to come in here, but he also has a Heatran, and Heatran seems like a better switch into Celebi than Scizor does at this moment, because he wants to get up his rocks. He doesn't have them so far. So I'm going to go for Thunder Wave, and what do you know, I catch Heatran on the switch, so yeah, props for me, man. Good job, Chives. Anyways, I don't want my onions being cooked, because, Celebi is obviously an onion. And I go into Sopa. Sopa is a Rotom Wash, and he's kind of a fire type, so water types kind of just annihilate that thing. I had a feeling he might have protected or might have wanted to stay in just to set up his own rocks. So I went for Hydro Pump, and he got Parahaxed once and twice, so that's 2 times he got Parahaxed. That kind of sucks for you, bro. But it's great for me. I'm not going to lie. I feel bad for it, that it's hacks, but I'm going to take advantage of it because I don't want you setting up rocks. And since you didn't set up rocks, I'm going to take advantage of this because this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to take advantage of whatever you give me. But this Scrafty here, my immediate reaction is to go into Skarmory. If you try to set up, I can Whirlwind you out. If you don't try to set up and you just attack, then I kind of threaten you with Brave Bird, and you can't do much to me anyways. Or I can set up spikes. Whatever works, and from here, Scrafty is just gonna Drain Punch me because he just wants to go back to full HP, and at the same time, it's probably the hardest hitting move against me before I Whirlwind him out. So, looking at how that's going, it's working out pretty nicely. Skarmory can kind of just wall Scrafty. I know he's Dragon Dance, he's not Bullet Cup, so that kind of helps a lot. But Rotom Wash here is going to threaten me out. I got to go back into, alright, the Landorus. And unfortunately, he's going to make a really good play here, go for HP Ice. I guess he was predicting Celebi to come in, or slash Landorus. Either one works. I kind of expected him not to Hydro Pump, because if he Hydro Pumped, it would have been the same process as last time. So I was expecting him to Volt Switch that time, but it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen, and I get screwed over for it. But Landorus isn't going to do much against his team anyway, so it wasn't that big of a loss. And because Landorus is gone, it allows me to send in Rotom, and I can Volt Switch, and from there I can just thread it, and I can literally just Pursuit Trap his Latias, and this is caused by him switching out. Pretty much Landorus being sacked is going to make him sack his Latias right here, because he can't do much. He's Pursuit Trapped. You can't do anything. Tyranitar is going to kill you. You can't do much about it. Might as well drop a Draco or something, because you're kind of screwed here. Really badly. So anyways, Latias is here. He decides to switch, but I just pursued you, and you just died. You're just gone now. So anyways, Latias is gone, which is great because Heatran and Latias are gone now. So if I get rid of Rotom, my Skarmory can just sit down on his team and just flatten. It can be like the Great Wall of China against his team. So anyways, he decides to bullet punch this time because maybe he thought I was faster and would go Fire Blast or something. Maybe he would jump for bullet punch. But it doesn't really honestly matter that much because I can just set up a roost here because I was noticing my Skarmory was getting kind of low, and you know, in Scrafty could get lucky with a crit, or Caesar or something gets lucky with a crit. So I want to go back up to full, and now I have Sturdy. I have all these things against him, and Rotom is kind of dying. He has to Volt Switch because you know, it's like the best option he has, and Landorus is dead, so I can't just completely just be immune to it. And his Volt turning process is kind of wearing him down. As you guys saw earlier, Rotom is very low. Caesar is kind of already 1/5 the way done, even though I haven't attacked it at all this match yet. And Skarmory has been coming in on Caesar so much, and it's almost that full after leftover. So that just shows you. I find this kind of odd though. He sent in a Gleescore against my Skarmory, and the only way Gleescore is ever gonna beat Skarmory is if Gleescore carries Taunt. And knowing this, I decided to go into Rotom Wash. And at the same time, it's not that big of a risk because, you know, Rotom Wash kind of is also a really good counter to Gleescore. And he goes for Taunt, so that pays off big time because now I can just scare him out. I gotta watch my Hydro Pumps though because I gotta be very careful there. But I know that he's not going to want to stay in. Gleescore is probably one of the Pokemon he needs the most. And I know that the only Pokemon he has that can resist it is this Rotom Wash. And because it's so low, because of the rocks, because of the Volt turning, all that is going to, and the sand too as well, is also going to pretty much let his Rotom die. So he has nothing to resist Hydro Pumps anymore. I can just totally wall his team with Skarmory. So I got to be very careful here. As long as he doesn't get a freeze, as long as he doesn't get a crit, as long as he doesn't get anything like that, I should be able to kind of wall it with Skarmory. Skarmory, your job is to just flatten his team out right here. Just put up a giant wall and then just don't let anything pass you. Because if this thing gets a Moxie off, I could be in some big trouble. But he gets a crit. Luckily, he doesn't get the freeze though. So you know, Skarmory, you know, you're doing your job here. Doing a great job. So anyways, I'm at around 200-ish, and he decides to go for Superpower. I'm pretty sure he knows it won't take me out, but that's the best thing he has. He has to bank on a Superpower crit if he wants to finish me off. And I went for Roost because I kinda half expected him to go for Superpower or U-turn, and either way, Roost is just gonna give me a bunch of HP, which I need. And yeah, so Skarmory's here, and I decided to switch out here, predicting in Gleescore to come in maybe. To kind of just taunt me and take advantage of me being taunted, but he doesn't switch. So Sopa, the Rotom Wash, you just took a huge hit, but it's fine. It makes me pretty much, you know, kind of have to reveal that I am Resto Chesto, which is fine. It's just not really that big of a deal. So I'm back at around pretty much full HP, and he's going to superpower me, and it's going to do a lot. Look at this damage, man. It's going to do about half after sand-ish. Around half, around that number. But you know, he's gonna have to switch, and I kinda have the match set. Like, it's in the bag. He lost Rotom, he lost Heatran, he lost Latias. He has nothing for Skarmory. He notices this, and the last chance he has is this Scrafty, and he has to bank on me missing a Hydro Pump. I know this, so I don't want to miss Hydro Pump, and I know Volt Switch won't kill him, but Volt Switch will leave him at a point where Sand will take him out. And I was really expecting him to Drain Punch right here, but he doesn't. He goes for Dragon Dance. But I guess you just miscalculate that, because now he's going to be taken out by Sand, and then from here he'll run. So that's a good game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, you guys saw some, you know, me again. You know, I'm just hanging out. So anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's battle. And if you did, you know, go check out my channel. It's always appreciated. And thank you guys. And thank you, Beta. Subscribe to Beta, because, you know, it's a really quick name to say, Beta. It sounds pretty cool too. Anyways, until next time, stay delicious. See you guys. Thank you for watching.